When are you going to start talking again?
Breathing in your chest infects your lungs. You find a rash followed by boils. The boils, they will spread. They turn to black. Swallow your body till you're dead. You need to realize that the worst really feels like. You need to realize your life's not that bad.
It's bad now. It's really hard to make money. Yeah. And then you're reading for like so long and everything has to be the same and you have to edit it yourself.
Oh, really?
That's why I only take 150 up to like 200
That's
an hour.
the least you'll do?
Yeah, because it's not just reading, you have to go back and edit it. And
That's a
then
lot.
yeah, and then once they accept it, they're like, "Oh, can you go back and edit this portion?" So now
And
you
this
have to
is
go back.
the author that revises it? Or
It's
reviews it?
based by the author because
okay.
sometimes people are really nice and sometimes they'll be like, oh, there's this clicking sound, so you have to go back and listen to it, and then you have to get your voice back to how it was so you can like clip it in.
Dang.
It's the worst.
I didn't know about that about you.
Yeah, it's rough. Took a long time.
You ever thought about doing voice acting? Or is that all AI too now?
I'm trying, but it's hard because I feel like you need an agent that when you get to that, because it's a lot of scammers.
Oh.
Yeah, and then you can do sites like Backstage or Upwork, but you might get scammed. And then also they're going to pay like, here, record for 3 hours for $100. And I'm like, oh, no.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah. Oh. I mean, I want to talk about this too. So
Yeah, go ahead.
We're pretty much recording a podcast already.
Okay.
With that said,
I know. We're done.
my guest today is Vicky K. She's the self-employed massage therapist at Not Needy Massage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's just me.
Just you.
Just me.
How you don't have anybody in the books running the
Well,
books?
I'm actually in the works of hiring an assistant and then also a marketing manager. So I'm working with someone actually right now, and she's coming in like later next month to shoot a video.
Yeah.
So we're getting somewhere. It's kind of not taking off, but it's moving forward.
What would
It's
your
kinda cool.
assistant do for you?
They're gonna help me. They come in with the knowledge of what platforms to use for what I want to do.
Okay.
Because right now a lot of my clients aren't using like the appointment settings.
Mm-hmm.
So an assistant would just come in and advise me, well, what do they need to tell everyone to get them on one system?
Yeah.
Or what system do I need to function better? And she'll just guide it that way. Like she pretty much handles my scheduling.
Mm-hmm.
She'll handle like marketing, dealing with marketing. She'll handle that. So I can just focus on the clientele, how I want to like treatment plans, and because we also want to expand to like events.
Okay.
Like more like we'll block off full days and eventually at some point start adding in more massage therapists into the team. Yeah, so not scouting, like massage therapists, there's so much, like there's such an abundance of massage therapists.
Yeah.
It's almost like just weeding out, well, who works well with us? So now, because now I'm like almost forming a team, but
Yeah.
does massage therapists that we're going to add also work well with the team?
Yeah. So you're talking about branching out, but before we get into not branching out, but expanding and growing your company, which is Not Needy Massage. Right now, you guys are located in Fitness 100 in Diamond Bar.
Fitness 100 gym in Diamond Bar.
Yeah, but you're also those are in calls, but you also do out calls, right?
I do out calls as long as people have their own tables. So a lot of like estheticians or like hairstylists and other massage therapists that as long as they can provide their own table, it just makes things a lot easier.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Of course.
all this work.
Before we get to third base, let's talk about what exactly you do at Not Needing Massage. As far as massage therapy, it's a big umbrella, but what is exactly do you do?
I guess now I'm falling into like sports injury and like rehabilitation type
Okay.
of massage, where it's a lot of just like manual manipulation, just finding, targeting like areas that are congested with like like scar tissue, micro tears and knots, and then just really breaking that up. And I do a lot of we
as a company.
yeah, we as a company I do a lot of just finding where the injury is, the main source. We'll break that up, and then from there it's more treatment plans, I guess, too.
Okay.
Yeah, we branch off into treatment plans. I try to get people into long-term care. Like, it's like little things you do like that almost will work together to like fix you.
Yeah.
Yeah, completely.
Well, and I think it's important to know that a massage like therapist is not just like, or it shouldn't just be a one-time thing. Like, it's several sessions, right? Like, you can't just.
Definitely.
It's not just a one. Oh, hey, come in here for an hour and then you're fixed for 100%. You're good to go.
Yeah, definitely, because it took you how long to get to where, your body's like so injured. It's not just going to take one session.
Yeah.
And if you try to just break it up in one session, some people do kind of drag it on to 2 hours, which I do not recommend the first time. Just because then it's like, well, we find other spots, and then now your body's just going to be sore. And if you're not used to being this sore, because I do assess it by person. Some people like being that sore, and that's fine as long as like you're okay. Your body's gonna be really sore. Because sometimes I'll have people gone for like 3 months, and then they try to like, hey, fix me again. Okay, well, it's a slow progress. Yeah.
Well, something like that, fix me again. You think if they would have came maybe once a month, they would have to have been another 2-hour session, right?
Yeah. I never hold it against anyone though.
Yeah. Well,
I do want them to come back.
Well, one of the things I liked about what you're doing, Vicky, is you educate a lot of people on your social media.
Oh, I do.
And not only that, like when you're there, I went in there thank you again for receiving me on that one call.
Yeah.
It was an emergency. I don't know if you do those emergency calls, but you did for me.
Yeah.
And I couldn't even walk. I don't know if you remember. I was having a hard time. And
Yeah. Are you still stretching now?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's that. Now when I start to feel a little bit of that tightness, I start to do my stretches.
Yeah. And stretching doesn't have to be a whole production, too. It's not like you have to spend like an hour every day. No, it's just any hyperextension. It's almost getting blood flowing into your body and just like where it needs to be. It's like if you imagine a rubber band and it's dry, it's going to rip easier. Yeah. And it's going to tear. And then that's when you have all those micro tears. You have like, you can't move the way you need to move. But if you just, warm up your body and just any hyperextension of your body.
I literally do it for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I do 5 minutes of stretching in the morning. And not every day. I can't say I do it every day, but when I start to feel like little tightness, I do it, and it feels really good. It makes the body a lot more, I don't know, I guess, tolerable. Like, because, you have pain. As you get older, you get pain, man. Pain sometimes just waking up. But at least it's a little bit more tolerable when you stretch out.
Oh, yeah. Especially now in the cold.
Yeah.
That's what I hear.
Yeah.
I get a lot of, like, in the morning, like, my back hurts. People are, like, messaging me. I'm like, okay.
Come in.
Yeah.
But you do, like I said, educate people, and that's really important. I know when I was there, you're just explaining to me in detail. And at the time, I was kind of like a little drugged out. I felt drugged out from the massage.
You're like, yeah.
But
you
did text me and then send me a couple links that I was able to like review it. So that I like that. That's cool.
Oh yeah, I'll remember. Like,
how important do you think that is in your field?
Which
for
part?
People to understand exactly what you're doing to their body.
I want to make things as digestible as possible, always. That's why it's so hard to create content around like how-tos and like here's how to fix this. And it's like not really, it's case by case.
Of course, yeah.
And always remember like small movements. Like if people don't stretch at all, I'm not going to advise stretch for 5 minutes. I'm going to be like, well, count to 5, like literally, or count to 3. Like count to 3 is kind of hard too for some people. So I'm like, oh, okay, well, you know what? Just reach over. Like you don't even have to count. Just reach over, reach over again, reach over somewhere else, and that's it. And then eventually move up to 3 seconds. You'll move up to 5 seconds. You'll notice like it will feel better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's like you said that dry rubber band, right?
Yeah.
If you stretch it out right
yeah.
away, boom. But if you slowly,
Yeah. I use stuff like that, and then I also like tell people like, imagine if you're working out, and you imagine if you had hot food and you just throw it in the fridge. So it's just a reminder to always stretch before and after, because you don't want to just like stop working out.
right.
And then I'm like, okay, well, we're just going to rest. It's almost like that hot food, and then you're throwing it in the fridge. Then it's going to solidify. Everything's going to get cramped.
Yeah.
You want to warm down your body as well, like hot showers or like even a brisk walk, like something that just kind of slows down and not just like stops.
Yeah. What's your most popular, I guess, service that you can offer?
Deep tissue. And then now I use tools, like stainless steel tools.
For the scraping?
Instrument assisted. I should know this. Soft tissue mobilization. Yeah, and it's
yeah, you got it right.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's almost like a sanding down.
Yeah.
I used to say scraping. Everyone says scraping.
Right. But you use the technical term,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. And it's like something I learned in school, then you kind of like develop it, and it's almost like so you have your muscle and you have your fascia, and they're supposed to align a certain way. That's why we have a lot of mobility. That's why we're able to move. But when you get scar tissue, it almost acts like a cement, so nothing moves how it should. So what scraping does, it goes in and it just sands everything down, and that's why it's like super abrasive, and you get like those red marks because you're kind of like really breaking everything down, and then and then everything can kind of heal the way it should, aligned.
Yeah. What about the but I don't think you do the cupping, huh?
No, I don't do cupping.
Those huge
purple, it's not my it's not my expertise. I don't know. I think it's more because I've seen cupping done in a very like specialized, like personalized way, because I know friends that do cupping. Yeah. So I'm like, that's not my expertise. I don't really believe in it.
Have you tried doing that?
I love cupping. Okay. It's really, but also I can see the risk of having cupping from someone who's not specialized in it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but I do believe in it. The way it pulls out, so it's like stale blood. That's what it's supposed to like pull and move out, like flush out the like the toxins. Yeah. So I could see how it works. And it was cool. I liked how it worked on me too, but it was a lot of like movement. It's just something I don't specialize in, so I don't want to touch it. Yeah.
Well, no, that's good. It's better you don't, right?
Yeah, because I've seen it done on my mom. Where I don't want to turn anyone off of cupping. But so my mom used to get cupping done a lot, and she stopped too because I started massaging her, and I was like, "What are these lumps on you? Like, do you feel them? Do they hurt? They don't hurt." And the doctor said they're just collection of lymph nodes from the cupping. And so she just has like a bunch of like collection. And then I started seeing them in the older like women, like older 40s and 50s, like 60s. And the collection, it like stays. So I think when you leave it in for too long, it kind of like just stays. And then we were trying to like work it out. I remember this lady, I was working on her for like 4 months, and it didn't do anything. And
how about your mom? You got her squared away?
I was working on it for 2 months. She was like, just give up. It's not. Yeah. She doesn't feel anything.
So
like it doesn't bother her.
Then.
Yeah, it's just permanent. Geez. Like it doesn't bother her. It's just that it doesn't move. Yeah. So it's just there. Like
Jeez, that's weird. I guess it's a good thing to say is do your research.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Do your research.
Do your research before you start getting any of
these. It might
things.
be the person. It's not always like the person cupping. It's also like your body. If your body is just like, if you're not really working out, the elasticity of your skin isn't like that, then cupping will kind of collect it. And then if you're not like stretching, moving around, it's pretty much solidify.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that. Yeah. I didn't even know that would be possible. I remember when I was younger, I used to see like my mom or one of her aunts or whatever used to get like a glass cup and then a candle, old school, And then,
I love those. That makes sense because the oxidation, it's the natural like things. But I feel like now people just do the suction.
Yeah.
That one's kind of rough.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're not really getting like the air in there. You're just sucking
You're
out.
just sucking it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is kind of odd.
And it's plastic tools. That part too. Because stainless steel, as long as you like alcohol swab it, it's easier to clean. That's why I use them. The hot stones, boil it. It's easy to clean.
Yeah.
With plastic, it's rougher because a lot of like you're dealing with different skin types, and then on plastic, bacteria lives like a lot longer.
Yeah. Plastic's always harder to clean.
Yeah.
I try to keep everything in the house glass. You know,
Yeah.
and hardly use plastic.
Yeah.
Because for the same reason, washing
Yeah.
them too, like oil. Try oil in plastic.
Yeah, and you're just like scrubbing it.
Yeah,
like,
it never comes off. You know,
yeah,
you
and
feel
then
like
if it gets like a little cut or something,
forget
all
about
the
it.
bacteria is in there.
It's all in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're gonna break my stuff over here,
I
Vicky.
know. Sorry.
I'm kidding,
It's all
I'm
I
kidding,
do.
I'm kidding. Vicky, how did you get into massage therapy? I know you've been doing it for over 10 years.
Oh yeah, like 13 years now.
Yeah, and I knew you, but never like that personal where I knew what you were up to. This was when I found out you were doing this, I was like, what? And then over 10 years? Wait, what?
Yeah,
What
I
did miss?
don't market myself at all.
Yeah.
I started at a chiropractic office that I interned at. I was sent there through the school, and I was the only massage therapist, so there wasn't really anyone I could like really learn under.
Yeah.
And so I think back then how I learned is I just started going to a lot of different places, like acupuncturists and like different like other chiropractors.
And getting all these services performed on yourself.
On myself, yeah. So what I like, then I know, okay, well, this is probably what other people need. And then slowly I'll incorporate like all like my workouts and stuff. So because I just follow my clientele, like, oh, if they're doing this program, let's try it out. Oh, this is where they're injured.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so that's how I would get into yoga, and I'm like, oh, okay, this is where they need to be worked out. But I was at that office for like 7 years, and then I got into like billing, and then the like, you know, transcribing for them, and so I got into the office work, and then I wanted to switch over. Like office work is so much easier, massage, because back then I'm like a kid, so I'm like. I didn't know I was being taken advantage of. I'm like working 8-hour days. I'm only getting like $30 an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like people at chiropractors' office don't tip at all.
Oh, yeah?
So it was like working on no tip.
I think most of it because they're probably like insurances, right? And
Yeah,
like,
insurance.
feel
Yeah.
like,
They don't know
why-
better.
I'm not
Yeah.
gonna tip.
Yeah. And I don't know better. I was
Yeah.
like, what did I start? I was like in my 20s, like early 20s. And then eventually I was like in and out of restaurant jobs, and then I went into I got an office job. The Joint Chiropractic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was working there until I got pregnant.
Oh.
Then I had kids.
Yeah.
And then
Took some time off.
Yeah, and then when I like had to get back into the job field, I was working 2 jobs. I was working like warehouse job, and then I was working as a barista for the Greek. And then I was working there like seasonal like concert times at the Greek, and it just wasn't working out. Like I didn't see my kids. Yeah, I'm like
Right.
gone in the morning for one job, and then I have the other job, and then by the time I see them, I'm like, I'm tired.
Yeah.
I'm like exhausted. I'm
Yeah.
just catching up with like chores and like, all right, what do we have to do for school, and like just all this stuff, like
Yeah.
doctor's appointments. Sorry,
No,
like
it's all right.
new equipment.
Yeah, I know, right? Hey, we'll start that GoFundMe pretty soon.
But yeah, and then so it's just, I was like, you know what? I was working out at Fitness 100 with a personal trainer who used to be my babysitter. And she was like, oh, someone tried to rent that room before. And I was like, oh, maybe I could rent out half of the room. So I rented out half of the room. That's where I started.
So at this point, you were already doing the massage therapy like on the side, on your own, at home or something like that, or?
Yeah, I had started before I got the spot. I had already started advertising myself,
Okay.
and I was doing a lot of out calls, or I would take the table with me. It was a lot of, and then I started on events. Like I was doing like along like
Like
farmers market,
pop-ups and
pop-up,
stuff?
yeah,
Yeah.
like pop-up markets. And so I started gaining clientele that way. And then once I got a spot, it's like when I started actually bring people in.
Yeah.
So it was kind of cool.
So your main objective here was like, I want to create time for my family.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because you were just, like you said, you weren't really living. You're working and working, especially at night.
Yeah. And I'm missing all like the good years. Yeah. Because they're like still so little.
Yeah.
And I don't know what they're going to remember. Or they're not going to remember.
Right.
And I was like, I remember growing up, my parents were not there.
Always working, right?
Yeah, they're always working. And I was like, I don't know. I don't want that for like my kids.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, how does it feel now? Now you're like, you can create your own schedule just like right now. Hey, I'm going to do a podcast on a Monday morning. Let's just come out here and do it.
Yeah, because it's like I have to keep up with everything all of the time. Because if I don't, everything just falls apart.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's rough. Yeah.
This is why you're looking for an assistant right now?
Yeah. That's why I'm like, so I could kind of flush everything. Because I also have like personal things going on as well. I'm like still going through a divorce.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's not final?
No.
Oh, I
my
thought that
God.
was final.
It's about to be 4 years. February 14th is when I filed.
Okay.
4 years ago.
Jeez. What's the holdup?
The next court
Wait,
date
can
is
you
February
talk about
13th.
that? Because I know sometimes you can when it's not final.
As long as I don't reveal any details.
No defamations and stuff.
Yeah, I know. I was kind of I know. Yeah, I don't even publicly like put that on my Instagram or anything.
Maybe we should hold off on that and talk about that after. You'll come back for part 2 and we'll talk about that.
Yeah, because we're still no restraining orders.
Yeah.
That one just got renewed too.
Really?
Yeah, for 5 years.
Jeez. All right.
I know.
So going forward, but you're thriving right now, right?
Yeah.
Like everything's going good for you with the massage therapy.
Yeah, but not too good.
Not too good.
Not spousal support good.
No, well, yeah.
All
See,
right.
well, I get you. You need that dual income, huh?
Yeah.
It is hard, but I know, like you said, you have a vision for not needing massage. You want to get to your vision. You need to hire some more. You just said you're hoping to hire more and get more massage therapists working.
Oh
for
yeah,
you.
yeah. I would definitely want to grow it. I think it is really strange because I'm in this phase right now where I'm like, oh, it's growing, but also I'm like, oh, it's growing. So I'm like, oh my gosh, like the thought of hiring out is strange, but it's also strange. I'm like, oh, I have like the funds are there, and I can.
That's
but
cool.
also it's like, oh my God, I have to like keep up with this. Like,
well, you're gonna have employees.
Yeah, I know.
They're gonna be dependent
weird.
on you.
Yeah, that's strange.
You're gonna be the boss.
Yeah, but it's like, it's a lot of like freelancers that I'm hiring. So it's not like you're only working for me. It's like you're also working for other people. So it's creating like this small community.
Okay.
Yeah, because you want to work with people that you like. So we're seeing if we work well with each other. Because it's not like this is the first assistant that I interviewed and I'm hiring her.
Oh, okay.
It's like there's definitely a lot of different like people around, and there's a lot of people like trying to now gain. Like once they hear you're trying to hire someone, now other people all of a sudden are like coming out of woodworking. They're like trying to get hired too. And it's just kind of flushing through like who is really passionate about their job, who wants to do the work, and who is worth paying for. Yeah. Because everything's a business. Yeah, at this point.
Yeah. You got to see who's willing to grow with you as a business, right?
Who's being fair. Because there's also a lot of people like, I'm doing this amount of work, I should be getting paid this amount. Also, we had an agreement. And I don't mind paying more. If you're going to start off somewhere and not be doing more work, I'm not obligated to pay you more. Yeah. That's the only.
It is tough, you know, because like you're expecting them to do a certain job, they do it, and then you do have to kind of, I think you owe it to your employees to like revisit their salary. Maybe they are worth more, right?
Yeah.
So but it is tricky. It's one of those double-edged swords, so because it's money away from your business, but some of them are merited, right?
What happened?
Some of those are merited, like a raise that you're gonna have to spend a little bit more on that on a salary.
Yeah, yeah. And I don't mind it. It's because it's I like this industry because it's a lot of like the work you put in is like how much you're gonna make versus like we're not trying to sell a product.
Yeah.
No, we're not trying to push this one product or how does it do, what kind of product do we compare on the market. It's more of like, well, we're providing a service and how do we get this service out to the community?
Yeah. All right. Do you see yourself growing out of the gym? I know the gym's been super helpful for you. But like maybe getting your own spot.
I kind of like the gym right now just because there's
A lot
this
of foot
sense
traffic,
of like
right?
foot traffic. It's safety. It's not so much the
Oh,
foot
okay.
traffic. The foot traffic's a little annoying
Oh,
because sometimes people are eating. It's like because half of our room is a locker room.
Oh, right.
And then there's like some people leave their kids in there, and
yeah.
then some people like eat in there, and
Yeah.
I'm like, there's a room next door. No, and then in the beginning it was hard because people kept thinking I was like also a changing room. So then eventually I got a security camera and it talks. So I'm like, hey, get out of the room.
Oh, so when you're not there.
So when I'm not there, the security camera can talk back,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I'm like, hey, this isn't a changing room. And then they'll like,
Well, yeah, because
"Oh,
you leave
sorry."
all your stuff in there, right?
Yes, and then I finally had to get like a little lockbox
Mm-hmm.
for the more expensive stuff,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
which isn't too crazy. I'm like, if anything goes missing, I just reimburse the gym.
Yeah. there you
So
go.
there's that. Yeah, I like the safety part of it though, because
Yeah, I didn't even think about that part, but yeah, you have
it's
all that
hard.
protection.
That's why
you
on
have
my
right there.
Instagram, I don't even put my face on there.
Yeah.
Like it's in the beginning, I was putting myself on a lot of platforms to like try to get clientele, and then you get a lot of like, you up texts, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
like I'm not available past 7.
Yeah. Well, not even that. Like you think about all the nasty ones you get. You know, like the offerings you get on your, because you don't even put your personal one, but like just on.
No, I don't even put my last name up.
Oh
yeah, yeah.
That's why we said Vicky K.
Yeah, Vicky K.
But yeah, no, I'm saying like the dick pics that come in. You know, like I don't know if you get any of those, but I'm sure.
Oh
you get.
no, I'm really good with those. I used to get like memes. You know what? Back, because I used to have my personal page public, and then I started working out with my trainer, and she posts a lot of videos from our workouts up, and then I would get followers that way, and then they would find my massage page. So there were some clienteles from her that were kind of weird, but usually I'm really good with like if they make any type of move, I just block them.
Yeah.
It's really easy. I block them, never talk to them again.
Yeah, that's easy. And it's good and safer.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, like I was going back to the safety part of it. Like you're only in the gym when the gym is open. Like you're not working when the gym is closed. Like you're not gonna open it yourself.
Yeah, and there's usually someone in the gym at all times.
That's good.
Yeah, so it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Or well, the gym also is like packed with security cameras too. So even if no one ends up staying at the gym, they'll always advise me like, okay, well, we're gonna lock up, and I was like, perfect. So they'll lock up, and then there's just security cameras on all the time.
All right.
Yeah.
So now we're getting to that part where we're gonna talk about the creepy, scary, funny stories that you've come across while you're massaging.
Am I allowed to?
Yeah, of course. You're just not gonna say any names.
That's true.
But like in calls or out calls, can you talk about some of those?
I don't think I've had any too crazy. Everyone's been pretty respectful because I don't really advertise aside from like word of mouth, and I really like that. Really enjoy that. So I'm not like, because I was on Groupon, and then I got a couple people from Groupon, and I hated it. I hated their bad hygiene. One guy, they don't tip. I hated Groupon so much. And Groupon, whatever price you put, you're only getting like 25% back maybe once a month to wait. Yeah. And I had to look up like, when do I get paid? You get paid on like this specific Tuesday. Like
really?
It was so weird.
Yeah.
I think maybe the worst was like, I won't say it was spa. It was like a chain. And then I was working for this massage place. Someone they just show up naked. Yeah, and then you go, oh, okay, hold on, and go get my manager, and then
Yeah.
they could like kick him out.
Yeah, yeah.
Still, it's just like, oh, that's
weird.
strange.
No,
Yeah.
Well, I told you about the massage
Oh
parlor
my
that I
God,
went
yeah.
to. Okay, so I didn't know, right? I was just wanted to get a massage because my back was hurting,
Mm-hmm.
and I went out there and they're like, you gotta take off your underwear and all this. I'm like, whoa, wait a second, just my back's just hurting. Like, that's all then I realized, okay, this is the kind of spot,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I gotta get out of this spot.
They're all showing up in lingerie.
Yeah, no. Well, this one wasn't in laundry. I'm sure underneath the robe, maybe she was ready to go,
Oh
but
my God.
yeah, it's just kind of weird. Like, yeah, I don't want to be around that.
No.
That's why I was asking you if you had any funny stories like that.
No, I did have another guy told me a funny story where he was like, it was this like massage parlor and they had curtains like blocking each like area, and he said he just heard someone grunting next door. And I was like, oh
Yeah.
my God, it's so
Yeah.
bad. And he's like, yeah.
Well, I almost fell asleep when you were giving me a massage.
Mm-hmm.
So I could imagine if anybody has like fallen asleep, like I'm thinking like
Oh my God, yeah. There's a lot of
snoring.
yeah. There's a handful of clients that do a lot of like moaning.
Oh.
Yeah, and it's like I kind of get used to it. It's just funny because it's like people could hear us. It's like they're like right next door,
you think about it.
and I'm just like
Someone's having lunch, eating a salad, and they're hearing.
And
like,
yeah,
some-
and they like moan. I'm like, oh okay. I guess this is how they like.
Yeah.
they,
Now they know, hey, Vicky, that's that kind of party over there. So
no, I'm like shh.
yeah.
No, everyone's been pretty.
That's cool.
Yeah, pretty pleasant.
That's good.
Yeah, that's like the risk you're taking at a massage place, because also, like, you can't just block people. Like, I remember at the chiropractic office, like people would call me like, "Hey, this guy came in and was asking for your number," and I was like, "Did you give it to him? Please don't give it to him." He's like, "No, I didn't give it." And I was like, "Hey, cool."
Yeah. Jeez.
Yeah, there'll be a lot of that,
Yeah.
and it's just like, and then you have to like go back. You have to go back to work.
Right.
Like
And
you can't avoid them.
They might be there waiting.
Yeah, and my boss isn't gonna turn them away. It's just
Yeah.
like, that's money.
Yeah.
Like, just don't do anything. I'm like, oh my God, it's
Yeah.
weird.
Well, but it does sound like at the gym it's a lot more, like you said, safer there.
Oh yeah,
And I'm
it's
sure
so
they,
easy.
they
Just cut
protect
people
you
off.
there a lot more. Yeah, it's a lot easier.
Yeah, and if I feel like any type of way, I just ask people like, hey, can you like check up on us every once in a while? They're really nice.
That's
Everyone
good.
at the gym is really pleasant. Yeah.
That's good. One of the other things that I wanted to talk about was, I don't think you accept insurance. Do you accept insurance?
Not insurance. I use I
But you
accept
do accept-
FSA and HSA cards. Mhm.
Those are the two things that you just recently posted, or I think a while ago. But that's
Mm-hmm.
important because especially now that it's
Oh, the
towards
end of the year.
end of the
Yeah,
year,
yeah.
you want
Come
to
in.
get rid of some of that balance. You already know where
Yeah.
to see.
And then I have like packages available for like a certain set number of visits,
Mm-hmm.
because I do advise people come back like regularly, especially if you're in pain. I would advise like once a week for like at least a month.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of people do like twice a week still, like
Yeah.
even for maintenance, people do like, because the harder you train, the more you want your body to be worked on. And like kind of, you want your body to follow how hard you're training.
Yeah.
Yeah, like recently I also like started doing massages for people that were competing. I was
Oh,
like, oh, that's
okay.
kind of neat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, helping them kind of like strengthen. And then we kind of like, because they're always posting like, their bodybuilding updates and stuff.
Mhm.
And I'll like screenshot it and I'll like mark where like, oh, here, you need to roll out this spot and put the EMS here. And
You can tell that just by a pose?
yeah, you can tell by like the way people flex, because I
Mhm.
think once you start working on them, you can kind of see, oh, this was a problem area, and so once they flex, you can kind of see like, oh, see, look, you need to roll this part
Oh,
out.
Okay. That's that whole mobility thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But a lot of people doing the competitions are mainly just physique,
Yeah.
so we're just trying to get like things kind of like shaped.
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of neat.
That is
Yeah.
cool. Because it's sculpting at the end
It's
of the day.
sculpting.
That's what
Yeah,
it is.
there's this one guy who wanted me to buy like a TheraBlade.
Mhm.
So we bought a TheraBlade and we're almost like sculpting his body.
That's crazy.
So like, yeah, like so once a week we come for like 2 hours and we're just like sculpting his
And-
It
and-
kind of
and
works.
have you seen that? Like,
It
yeah.
works. Like I wish I had a before picture.
I was gonna
but
say, yeah, like a little
also,
video.
what's really hard about before and after pictures is so invasive.
Yeah.
It's like people half naked. I
Yeah.
don't want to do that.
Yeah.
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 Like I was recording in the beginning and then I was like, this is just too like
So it's I think it's uncomfortable for you right now, and then maybe even the other person, but
People love it.
well, yeah, I mean, because that's what they do, right?
Yeah.
But I know there's one girl that I've known. I mean, I knew her since she was a little baby, but now she's competing.
Yeah.
And I remember she first like, man, this is so uncomfortable posting this picture, but she put it out there because eventually she's gonna be out there, pictures and videos and people judging you, you know.
Yeah.
So I think she did it to get her, comfortable, right? And so it's hard. I can imagine. So I don't think it's as hard as it is for you taking the picture as it is for them posing. For some.
Yeah. I think it's worse for me. I don't
so?
think they care. Yeah, I really don't think they care. I think it's more for my page. Like, I just don't. I think I was feeling. I see what else is out there in the market. I think that's why. I see like all the other things out there, and what other massage therapists are posting about their clients and like half naked and all this stuff. And
You don't think it's necessary?
I don't think it's necessary.
Okay.
No, to expose someone else just so I can gain followers and views.
And stuff. I got you. I get you
like what are these views worth? Exposing another person. I'm almost like exploiting someone else to kind of gain like following and like prove like, hey, what I'm doing works. It's like, no,
that makes sense. I didn't really think about it like that until you just said it right now. So it does make sense. And then I see your page, like you want those true followers, right? You don't want like random people that you're never gonna, like
follow me for the
potential
content.
business, right?
Yeah, like I am engaged. I mean, I like being more engaged in, like my clientele now. Where do they want to go? Like, what are they looking advice for? Or what do they need reminders of? And then I would rather create content around the people that do follow me now versus like me creating content to gain other followers, to gain where everyone else is going. Yeah. But I also don't want to put anyone else down. Like what they're doing works for them.
For them.
For
what they want.
Yeah, for what they want. It's perfect. Yeah, and I get advice from other people too, like other massage therapists. They'll like, oh, do this maneuver for this. And I'm like, that's great. That works for you. And I'm also like, I'm gaining from it. It's just not something that I want to do moving forward. I kind of see where, not like a vision, but I kind of see who I want to work with and where I want to go. And this is like, it's just not what I want to do. Yeah.
And how about for the evolution of massage therapy? How are you educating yourself? Is it online? Are there conventions out there that you attend? I'm sure your industry is evolving. It evolves, right?
Yeah.
With different tools and techniques.
I actually focus more on. It's rough because there's only so much you can learn about the body. And since I'm more focused on like each individual case, I kind of follow each individual person. Like, what do you need versus like, what does the industry have to provide? Because the medical industry can only go so far, and now they're going so far, they're like entering the like mental space. Where everything now is just like, okay, well, they're talking about placebo effect and like all these things and these cases and how everything's linked to like how you feel mentally now and all this emotional pain. So everyone's kind of like going that way. So in that sense, YouTube probably.
YouTube is probably the best.
I mean, when I first started, YouTube was not that big. When I first started massage, how I learned is I was working on like 60 patients a day, right? Just like 5-10 minute massages because it was a lot of personal injury. So we got to see like different body types, and I got to work on a lot of working class like citizens. And it was because all these personal injury patients, a lot of like Spanish speakers didn't know English. Like, oh, poquito, menos, más. And so it was just like basic. And it was like the body types that are realistic, not just athletes.
Like mine.
So it wasn't like, and it's not like I was only working on like, let's specifically hyper stretch this area. We have to get this working. Because I remember at the time there was like there was a 49ers football player that came in.
Oh, really?
But I was like, there's no way. I'm not equipped to work on you. Like it's just muscle.
Yeah.
Like they're just like, there's no way for them to relax.
Mm-hmm.
They need a whole like team. I get why like athletes have their very specialized sports therapy.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, there's just at another level.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But where was the question?
Well, just the involvement of the
Oh,
industry.
massage.
Yeah.
Mm.
But no, what you touched on right now about the athlete, how different is the athlete like that than one that's like just ponchado, right? Like this lifting, like hardcore, all big and bulky, just sculpted, a lifter, a bodybuilder.
Athletes injure themselves. It's the impact. It's like when the difference between a boxer and a runner. The same impact, but low intensity impact, and that's why you train for a marathon though, and it's impact. Versus like if athletes like football players, that's heavy impact.
Oh, yeah.
So they have a lot more damage on them.
Like a car crash.
Yeah. And that's why they're going to be a lot more stiffer. Like they're not as mobile. Like if you see football players, they're just like yoked.
Yeah.
Because they just have injury on top of injury. And they're doing like not just scraping. That's why they have ice baths.
Oh, yeah.
And then they have like their programs. And if you see the way that nutritionalists prepare athletes, it's like their creatine, their amino acids, and they have like massive amounts. And it's based off of like each person's like how much do you need, and they take it multiple times a day.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, way above like what's needed by someone else. That's like if you're just a runner, you just need endurance.
Yeah.
Yeah, and your impact is low, and then you can get a massage like once a month, and you're fine. It's just depends on like what you do too. Like boxing, you need heavy work because you're just training all the time, multiple times a day. Versus like if you're just trying to look good, massage once a week is fine.
Once a week for massage?
For like athletes that are like training like that, yeah, I would advise like once a week probably. Yeah. And then if you're just for maintenance, it's like once a month, once every 3 months.
Yeah.
I wouldn't advise waiting any longer.
Like just like, yeah, that's what I was thinking, like work related type of stuff. That's more of like the chiropractor though, huh? When you get like an injury from work. That's kind of how when I came in, it was somewhat work related. Yeah, it was work related.
Yeah, it's work related. Like yeah, because you have to realize even when you're sitting for long periods of time, it's almost like a workout. It's you're substituting. If you weren't sitting, you'd be walking around. So now you're substituting walking around for just sitting, and your body's getting used to a different type of strain because your body's like contracted. If you notice when you're sitting, you're like you're using your muscles to kind of stabilize yourself to stay up in this position for a long period of time. And so when you move, it's gonna feel strained because it's almost like you're holding this position. It's like strained.
It's like when you get up and you're just like, oh,
yeah,
man,
you're
I've been
stiff
for such a long time already.
Yeah. It's almost like if you were to hold like a wall, like, you know, when you sit against the wall, you're holding that. It's the same kind of like process. Yeah.
It's a lot. Therapy. There's a lot that goes into massage therapy that you don't really think about, but that's why it's very important, like you said, to have yours. I like your page because you're informing. You're constantly posting stuff and you're reading about it. So it's good. It's like education of massage.
I know, because in my head I'm like, oh yeah, all this stuff makes sense, and I'm like, no, I have to make sure everyone realizes. Yeah. Like before they go in, because a lot of people are like, oh, just scrape me, and then when we go in, I have to tell them like, oh well, this is this area, like where is it injured, where does it hurt, and then we can like get into the scraping and stuff. Because I remember when I used to get scraping done, we just go in, and they are not really like advising me of anything. They're like, just start scraping. And I leave and I'm just like nauseous. I'm like, oh my God. Yeah.
I'm sure you get some people that are like so used to it though that they don't really care about the why. Just do it, right? Like just do the therapy that I need and then get over it with.
Once in a while, but then once they lay down, they start realizing, okay, like I try my best to get them to relax first, because a lot of people are just like super tense. They're very skeptical. Like I get a lot of those, and then once we get into it, and they're like, oh, okay, like this makes sense. Yeah. Because what I get a lot is people telling me they go to these therapists or these massage places, and they're doing all this like full body work. And they're advised like, oh, it's to get the blood circulating everywhere.
Yeah.
Versus like what they're saying is, I want this spot targeted, just this spot. And I was like, well, okay, so it's the upper body, so we'll just work on upper body, and then they'll leave happy.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
I mean,
You
because
know-
it goes by portions. Like if it's gonna be upper body, it's just gonna be upper body, and then if like it's your legs, you'll know it's your legs, and it's pretty simple.
Have you noticed though, like you said earlier, that you've noticed, or I think you said that you learned that a lot of it is mental, like the placebo. Have you noticed you talking to your clients before and maybe even during kind of helps them relax?
Oh yeah. I noticed a lot of like maybe people don't expect me to like be as I don't want to say invasive, be like as like questioning as I am, like, but I've been in the industry for long enough where I'm like, oh, I can make conversation at the same time. I also want to inquire about like, like, well, you know, when's your last massage? I'm like always asking a lot of questions. So I want to incorporate this massage into your everyday life, not like I don't have a one size massage fits like every single massage is going to be custom. Yeah.
Wow.
So it's hard. I know. I try to ask questions before, but now I kept it to like 5 questions. Where I'm like, simplify simple questions. I don't want to like overdo, because you know those questionnaires where you're like, where is it hurt? Was it stinging pain? Is it numbness? I'm like, I don't know. This is giving me a headache. Answering these questions.
On a scale from 1 to 10.
Oh my God, I remember those. Yeah, I remember those at the doctor's office.
I always say like, it hurts, but
bro, I'm here 10.
My tolerance level is good. It'll be a 10, and I can still be alright. I'm not gonna
they use
moan.
all like the terms like your clavicle. Is it your cervical? Your thoracic? And you're like,
what?
Lower back.
Show me pictures.
Here,
I don't know what you're talking about.
How's your lumbar?
Yeah, right.
What?
Man, I didn't tell you recently. Vincent went to go get an MRI on his knee.
Oh my God!
Like he, kind of blew it out, right? So he was playing like that for 5-6 weeks. Just icing it, and then we took him in. X-rays negative. MRI. They said his meniscus was torn. Yeah, so
and he just was just like, I'm just gonna play on it.
Ice. I mean, he was in pain, but he was just trying to prove himself like that. He can,
oh my God!
Still hang there. And yeah, so I don't know.
Is it really bad?
Well, tomorrow we meet up. We meet up with the doctor, with the orthopedics.
Is he walking? Is he limping?
No, he's walking.
He's walking? Oh,
he's walking. Knee brace. It's not crazy. That's why I'm hoping that it's just going to be like PT. Hopefully just if it's therapy.
Oh, yeah.
No surgery,
Oh, no. If he's walking, it should be.
Yeah.
It should be okay.
It should be fine.
Yeah.
Huh? But yeah.
Yeah, if he was limping, it'd be kind of, If he was limping or he's crying in pain, it should be.
There's times when he does, but but that's when he like overuses it, When he's overusing it, then he's crying. But
yeah, let me know, because he might need a. Did I use the EMS machine on you? Like the little buzzing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that might help too, because when it's healing, it's gonna help with the healing process. It's just
It'll break down whatever.
It is, breaking down, and it'll help like with the nerve. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, injuries.
I know, right? Yeah, it's crazy. But it's going to keep your industry thriving. So.
I know. Job security.
So what's your plan? What's your goal what do you see not needing massage in 5 years?
Not needing massage in 5 years. I actually, in 5 years, I would want a team of like 3 therapists, I think. Just for like... I actually want to start doing volunteer work. I just don't know where. Like I don't know where to go that isn't so big that you don't see where exactly your time and your money is even going. Like I don't want to just throw like fundraising money towards somewhere and then just like kind of disappear.
Yeah.
So it's rough. Like I want to get to that point where I'm like, doing some type of work giving back, just because, you know, the situation I was in.
Yeah.
I was given a lot of opportunities, like daycare is paid for and like all this stuff. And like even the therapy was paid for. Everything was kind of like, so it's something like I would want to give back in a way where even if it's like therapeutic, because I've also had patients come in where, you know, like they're really sensitive, or, you know, it's hard for, they get anxiety, and massage mentally just will help them through that. And then we'll find out, well, because mentally it's tied in with the body. And sometimes when you get anxiety, let's figure out, you know, where the pain is. Let's like, where do we want to relax? Where you will need blood circulating. Yeah.
That's really good though.
Yeah.
I would say, if I was to give you any kind of advice, would be like in, like AA, you know, they do that 12 step. Where they go back and apologize to people, right? That they've hurt.
Oh, it's rough. No, I'm still
you would have
in the
to
stages of grieving. No, I'm not close to forgiving. No.
No.
Oh, no.
Not there. I'm saying, so like if you were to go back, you just mentioned your daycare that helped you out.
Yeah.
Now, if you go back and offer some of them, the staff there, like some kind of services, maybe.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. Like when they needed massages, I was like, no, I'm there. What do you need? And I'm like, no, I'm not charging you anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so you've already done that.
Yeah, I've done that. You know,
okay.
when they were like instantly like, oh, your massage, like, oh, my mom's hand's hurting.
Yeah.
And even with the owner, I was like, no, don't give me anything.
There you go. There you go. Well, see that you're already doing your volunteer.
Yeah.
Volunteer
It's cool.
work.
Yeah. Like
senior assisted living.
I was thinking about that. You know, they have their senior expo in West Covina.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
There you go.
It was too busy this year, but I was like, next year. Like
in
stuff
your
like that. I
backyard.
want to volunteer because Diamond Bar has their like, because I was paying for events. And then I was just like, I can't keep paying for events. It's taking away a whole day's work. And then I'm also paying for like maybe a client or two.
Yeah.
But with like some of the city stuff, they'll invite me out.
Okay.
Yeah, they'll invite me and I'll volunteer. And I'm like, okay, I don't mind that.
Nice.
Yeah, it's just hard because Diamond Bar, people that actually show up, there's a lot of non-English speakers, but Chinese. And I'm like, I don't don't even know where to, I can't even, ni hao? Like, I don't know any Chinese. Yeah.
Well, you got to start either picking up another language.
I know.
Or Google Translate.
I know. They have all this like equipment now. I can just wear the headphones.
Exactly.
You're just like, what do I say?
That's all you need to do. No, there's a lot of programs I'm sure that you can find, but that's a good goal to have, you know, to start doing more, or being in a time in your life when you can volunteer work. There's people that I'm sure want to, but they monetarily they can't, you know, financially they can't.
Yeah, or probably in the 5 years, I would want a team so we can be massaging at like events, like you know, like Newport Beach, how they have those like winery kind of events. And then I would want to book out like 4 or 5 therapists, and we'll bring out our chairs, maybe our tables if anyone wants like a massage. Yeah, either the place would pay us a flat fee, or we'd have a lower fee, and then, you know, people could pay as they go. And then tips are advised. Yeah, so we'll see.
That's the way to do it, as long as you have a vision.
Yeah. A team. Oh my God, the team part. Yeah.
That's cool.
I'm a pushover, that's why.
It's hard to like that control, right?
Yeah,
Letting someone just like trusting them that they're gonna do what you asked them to do, right?
Yeah,
or
like you guys are adults.
Yeah. That's probably the hardest part of being like an owner or a boss, you know?
Yeah. Or like keep having to remind someone to do something.
Yeah. That's tough. But you can do it. I know you can. Well, thank you again for coming out.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. Thank you for having me.
Of course, anytime.
Fun.
Yeah. We'll have to do this again for sure after your divorce is over.
You're right, though. I can't
really
talk about
I was thinking, but I'm like, well, we can't talk about that.
No, because then it'd be slandering.
Yeah.
I'm pretty good about it, but
nah.
No, it's a risk. No, because there's a lot of there's a lot of gray area.
I'm sure. Yeah, that'll be the off the mic, off the air, behind the scenes, the tap after dark, you know, that kind of stuff.
Tap after dark.
Hey, I should do the tap after dark.
Tap after dark.
But anyways, thanks again.
You have to pay.
This one you have to pay for. It'll be subscribers only.
Subscribers. Oh, YouTube has subscribers now.
I do. Yeah.
You have subscribers?
No.
Oh no, you have the pay for. You know, like
I should get OnlyFans.
You should.
Yeah, I could do OnlyFans.
People do that for fun.
Yeah, I've seen that. I follow like boxers and stuff that have OnlyFans.
They have OnlyFans.
Yeah.
That's
men
funny.
and women. So
Yeah, why not?
why not? I'm gonna do OnlyFans.
Use it.
All right, coming soon, OnlyFans. All right, you guys, take care. We'll see you guys until the next time. Adios.
Breathing in your chest infects your lungs. You find a rush followed by